It's the grandson of right thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Affirmation of the day. I am vanquishing all unhelpful beliefs. I am vanquishing all unhelpful beliefs. One more time, and this time let's take a deep breath when we do it. In the nose and out the mouth. I am vanquishing all unhelpful beliefs. So, you, elect, are so valuable, so sought after, so rare and unique, so precious, that the devil and the angel of the Lord waged war over you. The devil was like, I want him. I want him for me. Abiyah was like, no, I want him. He's mine. Come on, let me have him. Let me work my magic on him. Go ahead and try. But he's mine. Y'all didn't read Job. Envy is what this is about, elect. Being hated without a cause. Envy. See that? That's what envy is. That's why it's so wicked to the Most High. Because it don't have a rhyme or a reason. You hate without a reason. This is written about you, elect. I'm just here to remind you of it. It's already in there. You could have checked it out for yourself. But in case you forgot, I'm here to remind you, see? To remind you of your value. To remind you at what's truly at stake here. Didn't they dispute these same two, the angel of the Lord and then Satan? Didn't these same two dispute for the body of Moses? You see what I'm telling you? Didn't these same two dispute for the body of the branch? It's written in there. The same conflict, the same dilemma. He's mine, the branch is mine. Abba said, clean him up. Give him a new priestly garment. So that means who won the war? The angel of the Lord won. The angel of the Lord is going to always win. Undefeated, you see? So when your body comes up before the judgment seat, and we all indeed shall do it in our own order. You see? Everybody thinks that it's all going to happen one day for everybody. It is going to happen for you in one day. And when you are brought up before the judgment seat, that is going to be the case. Who gets rights to you? That's what it is. That is the court case. And there's a prosecutor, the devil, Satan, trying to win his case. And there's the defense attorney, the angel of Abiyah. In other words, Yahushua Christ. The mediator. See how the scriptures already told you that's who he is? The mediator between God and men. So when the man comes up there, he needs a defense attorney. That's Yahushua, the mediator. You see? So, same thing with the branch. He came up and he had a mediator who was the angel of the Lord. And Satan was there at his right hand, ready to accuse him. Isn't that what it say? See that there? So he's doing the same thing to you. He's trying to accuse you of not using the body correctly. Listen at this shit. This prosecutor here, he entices you your whole life with sin, and then when you do give in to the enticement, then he brings it up before Abiyah in judgment. Yeah. Look what he did here. Look what he did here. Abba's gonna always say, well, who gave him the idea? Just like he did with Eve. Didn't he get punished for what he did to Eve? For deceiving her? So then you don't think he's going to be punished for deceiving you in your life? Remember how I told you I jumped with both of my feet on top of that nigga's head? See, I already been brought up before the judgment seat. This is why I'm comforting you. You didn't understand God's judgment. Doesn't it say I have to reprove the world of judgment? Isn't that what it says? Well, here we go. Reprove means correct. I'm going to reprove who? The elect. See, not anybody on this earth. I want y'all to understand this. I know who I'm talking to. I know exactly who I'm talking to. Very few, small, little flock. See? The few. I've already been told there are few that I am sent to comfort so that they won't be afraid anymore. See? Of judgment, of sin, reprove the world of sin and of judgment. Isn't that written in there? Mm-hmm. And of judgment. So here we are with judgment now. You come up before the judgment seat and you're called into question. See? You can try to lie and scheme and get out of this shit all wicked old kind of ways and try to shuck and jive. Like the niggas do in this wicked ass so-called justice system. It's really the injustice system. You see? But see, for us, that is a blessing to us, you see, because that is when the angel of the Lord come into us. He gets jurisdiction of us. In other words, he took our place, that we may see his shining face. He bore it all, that we might in his presence live. He bore it all, that we might see his shining face. He bore it all, that we might live. We stood condemned to die, but Yahusha finally took our place. He bore it all, that we might live. You see? And we take on his image. We die. See that? And it's the same thing that John the Baptist was trying to tell us. See, John the Baptist being the greatest prophet. Okay? That's what's written. That's what Yahushua told us. What does that mean in you? That means that you have a part of your being that is the most righteous side of yourself. We call it your higher self. That is the John the Baptist in you. See? He baptizes. John the Baptist. Baptist means cleaner. John the cleaner. Remember the prophecy stated that he would be fuller's soap and a refiner's fire. And he is the last voice crying in the wilderness before who come? The king. That's what's written. That's the prophecy. So John the Baptist is a prophecy. Future prophecy. See? It is the signal as was written in Malachi. He is the forerunner. He's the cleaner. He cleans up the nation and presents them as a bride to Yahusha. You understand that? John the cleaner, John the baptizer, the baptizer. You get it? So he cleans you. That's you inside yourself. Your higher self cleans you up and makes you ready to receive Spirit of Christ. And see what the Spirit is. Spirit is there is liberty, which is what John the Baptist doesn't give. That's why he's a refiner's fire. See? Fuller's soap. Clean you up. All your misconceptions and fears. How can you receive truth and love if you have fear? See? It's not that he's cleaning you up of your outward filth. He's not baptizing your outward filth. That's why you see a lot of so-called Christians talking about going down in a pool of water physically, as if that cleans anything. John was baptizing your misconceptions and lies of how you judged. That's why the Pharisees had aught with John. They wanted to kill John, but everybody held him as a prophet. You see that? Y'all hear this? They wanted to kill John too. And a plot got him killed. You see that? And he said, but the point is this, I must decrease. So he was already telling you that he was going to have to die. So the beheading of John is not necessarily about a man being decapitated. It's about your higher self having to submit the head of itself to Christ. John the Baptist's head coming off is his head is being removed in place for Christ being his head now. Do you understand the prophecy of John the Baptist? You see, I must decrease in stature. So your head must be removed because Christ is the head of man, not John the Baptist, not the grandson of right thought, not T.D. Jakes, not Joel Osteen, not New Breed to the World Over, not Spiritual Soul, not Brother James, not Malachizedek, but Yahusha. Christ is the head of man. It is the Spirit that resides within that teaches us what to say and what to do. And if we heed not to the Spirit, then our head remains. And we have not decreased so that he can increase in us. That is what the scriptures are telling you there. When you rise through your journey, listen to me clearly. The last one in you that must decrease is your refiner's fire in yourself. The one who comes within, the John the Baptist, that the Elijah that comes within you that cleans your life up, makes you say, no, I'm not doing that. Nope, I'm not doing that. Remember how I told you Abba transformed me into a man Azariah? Yah has helped. He's helping me. See? So he changed my name to I am helping you. I am help. You asked for help, so I am help. And he changed my name to I am help. And then he helped me, cleansed me. You see? Refined me. Taught me true judgment. So now I could give grace. You see? I went into the 40 on a very strict diet of fruit-bearing seed. I wasn't smoking weed. I was celibate. So let's hear this real quick. When I went to the 40, I was celibate. I was eating a strict diet of fruit-bearing seed. You see what I'm telling you? John the Baptist? Y'all don't hear me though? When I came out of the 40, I gained a wife, gaining a new child, which requires sex for that to happen. Do you hear me? Because where the Spirit is, there is grace. I told you before I went into the 40, I was celibate. I had no wife. I had no children. I was completely separated from everybody. That's what happens when you go in the 40, see? But I was already in that state prior to going. He was refining me to prepare me to go into the 40 to meet Christ face to face. See, because if I'm doing what Christ did, then I will know what Christ knew, which was fire and passion for me to endure the 40. See, let's just talk about that as a family real quick. I'll explain what I mean by what I'm saying to y'all as a family. When it came time for me to actually go into the 40, and I stood on the precipice of a ravine, looking down to very thick woods, and it was getting dark, and I felt the nervousness, what I was about to do. Realizing that I only had a small jug of water, I had a Bible, a notepad, a sketch pad, a tripod, and a camera, a quilt, a blanket, and a tent. And I had some frankincense and myrrh, mixed oil, some olive oil, and a bottle. And when I stood there thinking about what I was about to do, that nervousness came upon me. Could I make it? Would I be able to do it, really? This is it. Nobody knows where I am but one person. I told one person where I was. So anything could happen. And I'm thinking this, well, that great zeal came over me of, if you do, then you'll know. You'll know what your master went through. You'll know the experience of the 40 days. You won't have to wonder. Because it said when he came out, listen to me, elect. When he came out of the 40, it says he came out strong in the spirit. Is that not what is written? After Yahusha came out the 40, he came out strong in the spirit. So do you understand what I'm explaining to you, elect? I went in a very strict, pious man, and I came out a very truthful, gracious man, full of the Ruach HaKodesh that I share with you all every day. So going into the 40 was the only way I could behold him face to face. Face to face means by experience, by knowing. I don't have to ask anyone. I don't have to ask Yahusha, what is it like? What were your fears? What kept you? What strengthened you? How did you do it? I don't have to ask. I know face to face now. He said, what a man does in secret, he will reward you openly. Like I told you, only one person knew where I was and what I was doing. And they vaguely knew where I was. It wasn't like they knew exactly where I was. They just knew vaguely. So though I didn't blow any trumpets and tell the whole world and make videos about it and say, hey guys, yeah, I'm going to be going on a 40-day fast like Yahusha did and blowing trumpets and letting everybody know before I did it. I didn't let anybody know. I just did it. Because the Ruach HaKodesh led me to do it. Why? Because John's ministry was over. And it was time for Yahusha to increase in me. You get it? So that old man had to die. The man that was not smoking weed, that was celibate, that was wearing fringes, keeping Shabbat, keeping the high holy days, preaching the gospel every single day, like a refiner's fire to his brothers, all of that. That man had to die. And a new man emerged, just like when a man goes into a cocoon, or a caterpillar goes into a cocoon, like I've told you guys. The only way you guys will understand a lot of what I'm saying is by experience. Otherwise, you won't know it. You'll just be hearing me. That's why he reminded us to do his word. Therefore, then you'll be a knower. Then you'll be knowing him face to face. Why? Because you're doing what he's doing. That's what he's telling you in his word. Do what you see me do. Take up your cross and follow me. Do what you see me do. Pray in my name. Do what you see me do. Ask the Father in my name. Ask the Father like you see me ask. You see, it's very simple. It's not hard. Like he said, his yoke is not hard. You went from taking thought of what you would eat every day to no longer taking thought. So that makes it easy for you during a time of recession and hiked price increases. And that makes your journey easy when you're not taking thought, because other people that, have a very strict billfold and very responsible, like I told you guys, writing all their numbers all down, well, they have a grocery budget. Well, their grocery budget is twice as much now as it used to be. Because it's hard labor when you used to pay $2.50 for a gallon of milk and now you pay $5.50. It's hard labor when you used to pay $1.70 for gas and now you pay $4 for gas. That's two expenses in your budget that have doubled, quadrupled. But he says, take no thought of what you shall eat, what you shall drink, what you shall put on. So then you don't have to watch the markets when you're not concerned about what you're going to eat, drink, or even wear. You're not concerned with the stock market. You're not concerned with the financial trends of the day. You're not. You're not watching that. You're watching him. Why? So that you can emulate and do what he does. What I see, Yahusha said, the Father do. That is what I do. So then if you say you follow Yahusha, then what you see, now are you watching him? See? They don't understand what I'm talking about. They're going to say, you can't see him. He's invisible. Okay, doubting Thomas. He says, blessed are those who believe on me, who have not seen me, yet believe. Uh-oh. I told you. I'm going to handcuff you to the wall because I know who I am. And when you know who you is, then you know what you're supposed to be doing. Just like an ape or a polar bear or a cardinal sitting on a branch. They all know what they is, and they know what they're supposed to be doing, and they do it. So then why should I be any different? Because it makes you uncomfortable? Yeah, I'm sure when a lion walks down the street, and he has no intention of hurting you, he's just walking down your street minding his own business, I'm sure it makes you uncomfortable nonetheless. So if I be a lion, and let's get it clear, not just any old lion, if I be an alpha lion of my tribe, and I'm just walking around minding my business, then I'm sure when you see me, I'm going to make you nervous and uncomfortable. Why is that, grandson? Because you know I have the potential of pouncing upon your ass and ripping you to smithereens at any moment's notice. So, little flock, let your father tell you what they did to you, lion. They told you you weren't a lion. They told you you were cattle. Oh, look how the image just switched. Come on, see with your eyes what I'm saying. Picture that lion in your mind's eye. Picture him standing there majestic with his crown on his head and his mane flowing in the breeze, standing on Pride's rock, looking over his land. Just imagine it. And then imagine he turns into a cow with titties hanging down, with a yoke on his neck. The yoke switched for the crown switched for a yoke, and he's a cow. Now he's a beast of burden, and he's only that because he's being told that he is that by another person. So now I'm telling you the truth of who you are. So now the image that you have of your head, see, it looked in your head, it looked like that cow. You had a misconception of yourself that looked like that cow. Watching the trends, watching how much milk you have to give up, how much beef they're going to carve off your ass this time, rendering to Caesar and to the consumers what they want, just like cattle does. Goyim. Now that image is going to switch back to the truth. Judah, thou art a lion's whelp, crouching for the prey. Okay, so you niggas lie to me. You lied to me. It's the return of the Mac once again. Return of the lion, see? Once again. Oh my God. You lied to me. When you said I was a cattle there, you lied to me. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Like that nigga said in The Wiz. 'Cause I'm a lion. We be lions. And that make them nervous when you walk in it. And that's expected. That's what's supposed to happen when a lion walk past. That's because he's done to call him the king of the jungle. Well, humans got kings too that prowl past and make people nervous. Didn't it say about Yahushua he was Ar-El, the lion of God, the lion of the tribe of Judah? And didn't people treat him as such? Now, y'all all understand manifesting in the universe and the secret and all that stuff now, right? But then y'all should understand that in order for a man to be treated as such, he had to believe such. Simple as that. He had to know it. Y'all know how the laws of the universe work now. You see? So you got to do the same thing. Of course, there are going to be some naysayers, but you have to know that many of them know the truth. They're just being a naysayer because they don't want you to know that you're a lion. They want you to still believe you're a cow. And can you blame them? Wouldn't you do the same thing if you were just nothing but a little snake or a rat or a dog? If you were a dog, would you want that lion to know that he's a lion? If you've duped him to believing that he's not and you saw the benefits of it, would you ever want him to think that he was something other than what you've duped him to believe that he is? You see, elect? This is what you received here at the School of Marvelous Light. Knowledge of self. Now, I want to ask you, what knowledge is more valuable than that? So then the gifts that you are being given, what is more valuable than they are? Thank you, Abba Yah in the highest, for what you have done for your people Israel in revealing the truth to us of who we be and our heritage that you said that you would remove from far from us because of our sin and iniquity and not loving our neighbors as ourselves. And truly not loving ourselves, not knowing our worth, Father, not believing, so therefore not entering into the promised land, which is your bosom. But now we reside in your bosom once again, and that can only be because of your love and grace and your truth, and guiding us tenderly through truth into believing that we are again, Abba Yah. And that's all that this truly is, believing the truth of what you put in us, that we were valuable all along. We didn't have to work for love. We didn't have to earn love because love cannot be earned. It can only be given freely, and that is why it is so beautiful, because it is never chained. and it never changes, ever. So we worship love today, and we sing songs of love today, and we seek for reconciliation of love today in the homes of each and one of the elect today, that they be restored in the highest, Abba Yah, that you give them the desires of their heart, that you let their cupboards overflow with all good things. We ask these things, Father. See, when you know the truth, then you just do the truth. You no longer run from who you are because it makes other people uncomfortable, which in turn makes you uncomfortable. You're no longer swayed with the discomforts or comforts of the world, because I am. And I am must be in the midst of this storm, or else there is nowhere that I am can exist. Do you understand what I'm telling you today? Everyone in that boat will die if there is no one in that boat claiming I am. In truth, I am saves. It can take one old man without a weapon in his hand to turn an army that seeks to destroy his village away with wisdom. It has been written that it has been so. And those people forgot all about that man, but obviously love has not, because he's being spoken of right now today. So if an old, hoary-headed elder can save a whole village of people through wisdom without a sword in his hand from an army wielding sword and shield, then love indeed does conquer all. Love indeed does make your enemies to be at peace with you. Love indeed will give you peace beyond all understanding in the midst of a tumultuous storm. I am delivers. So I am. That's simple today. For you as well, little flock. There is nowhere else you can run from what the grandson has told you today. In the end, you will have to claim I am in order to live. And anyone who's hearing this message, who has ears to hear, cannot get around the truth of it. They can't. So that's why he said all knees will bow and all will confess in the end, because everyone will. Everyone will. So fret not, and die to your old self, your over-righteous self as well as your over-wicked self, and let them be crucified at your right hand and your left hand, and be the man in the middle today. Shalom Israel.